Everybody on here should know that I'm a Penguins fan. Everybody on here knows that the Penguins got eliminated by the Montreal Canadiens, of all teams, in the Stanley Cup qualifiers. So that has led to the Penguins making huge decisions on coaching staff, and reportedly they are going to be having a very, very busy offseason. They fired 3 coaches today: Gonchar, Recchi, and Martin. They're all out the window. They're not being re-signed. GMJR said that Mike Sullivan, Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, and Christopher Letang are all safe. The rest, we don't know. GMJR said that the Penguins will be keeping their first round pick, which is 15th overall this season in this draft, which was optional to the Minnesota Wild, and the Wild now have our first round pick for 2021. So, what are the problems? Since I'm a Penguins fan, this would be a very easy video for me to make. Number 1, Matt Murray. Everybody thinks that Matt Murray is the absolute worst goaltender on the Penguins right now, if not in the NHL. I believe otherwise. Is Tristan Jarry better? I can't really say, because Tristan Jarry is still very young, and Matt Murray has had experience, has won 2 Stanley Cups as a rookie, and done really everything you want from him, except when it comes to the big games. Now here's what I think. Most of the games that Matt Murray starts and the Penguins lose are not his fault. Whose fault is it? The defense. Want a name? Jack Johnson. Jack Johnson is by far the worst player on the entire team. He needs to be traded. He needs to be cut. Something. Get him off and use Juuso Riikola. Because you're not utilizing this guy that came from Europe and played in the NHL like it was nothing. Dominates on defense. And Jack Johnson turning it over, scoring on his own net, all these things that you don't want. And he's way overpaid. Jack Johnson needs to be cut. As for other players, Brandon Tanev, great player, and he'll get the job done when he needs to. He's a really good overtime guy, but he's overpaid. They probably need to get rid of his contract, as much as I hate to say that, because Brandon Tanev is an amazing player. Great on the 4th line with Lafferty and Aston Reese. He's perfect fit for that 4th line. I think the Penguins have always been known for their 4th line being dominant, like for the past few seasons. Especially against like Bluger, Lafferty, Aston Reese. Aston Reese is a really great player too. Like, he's so underrated. He's your depth guy. Also, you got Brian Rust that can literally play on all 4 lines. So, what's the problem in Pittsburgh? The coaching staff, players, they're just not clicking. Let me say, I watched all 4 games in the series against the Canadiens. And Game 4 was awful. Oh my God. The Penguins had their backs against the wall. They did not play like that at all. They played it like a regular season game. They already clinched the playoffs. They acted like it was nothing, and they lost. That was by far the worst I've ever seen this team play in an elimination game. Now, obviously, for all those bandwagon fans who have been fans since 2016, are going to say, it's all Matt Murray's fault, and you need to trade him, and Letang's overrated and needs to be traded, and Malkin's overrated with all his penalties and needs to be traded. They're just stupid. No offense to anybody that says that. I mean, if you have a reason, go ahead. By all means, argue with me in the comments. But I just hate when people say that you need to trade the core, because the core is what you're going to need going forward. Evgeny Malkin, why would you ever think about trading him? Did he have penalty minutes more than usual for Malkin over the past couple seasons? Yes. Is that enough to trade him? No. You're really going to need him. Think about this. The Penguins always do better without Crosby than they do without Malkin. So, I'm just saying Malkin's probably your guy that you need more than Crosby, even though Crosby's the captain, he's all that. Yeah. Christopher Letang, known for his turnovers, but he's also a great offensive defenseman. Remember the 2016 Stanley Cup playoffs? He scored the cup-winning goal against San Jose in Game 6. And that's the Chris Letang that the Penguins need to see. The Chris Letang that we've seen the past season or two, ever since his hernia surgery, is just not the same. And this team is also, okay, now for the general manager side of things, Jimmy Rutherford, he's made some risky moves. He's obviously in that win-now mode. And the Zucker trade will explain it all. When we traded Galchenyuk to Minnesota, we also traded the prospect that we drafted in the second round of 2018, Kalen Addison, and our conditional pick, which is now their first-round pick in 2021. All that for Jason Zucker. In my opinion, I know people are going to disagree with me on this one, but it should have just been Galchenyuk, conditional pick for Zucker. Kalen Addison should not have been involved at all in that trade. Because when he's traded, I think he's, 18, 19, maybe 20 years old? He's a young guy. The Penguins were going to use him, and they needed him, and they traded him. That trade, do I like Zucker? Absolutely. Was that trade worth it? Absolutely not. And the Patrick Marleau trade, that's a risky move. At first, I thought it was a total bargain. Looking back on it, I'm not so sure we won that one either. Because we traded a pick for this vet. Marleau's a great player. He's been a great player for over 20 years. Is he slowing down? I'd say so, because he's aging. And he's way up there in age. He's one of the oldest guys in the league. You gave up something that could potentially be huge for him. So that was probably not the smartest move, even though I like Marleau, because, as y'all know, also big fan of the Sharks. Yeah. Then there's Dominic Simone. What is wrong with Dominic Simone? He keeps getting hurt. He's not able to play. It's just horrible. Connor Sherry should not have traded Dominic Cahoon. We needed to keep Cahoon. But Connor Sherry is a very good player as well. Nick Bjugstad, always hurt. So that doesn't help us at all when he's not playing. I'm starting to wonder if Pittsburgh's maybe just not the team that Nick Bjugstad needs to be on. Jared McCann, he got scratched the other night, or one of the games against Montreal, so we could put Sam Lafferty in. Sam Lafferty is up and coming. He's probably this team's future, if not Gensel and Lafferty. But, yeah, so I have no idea what's going on. I just want to keep making the playoffs as the Penguins. And by the way, the Stanley Cup qualifiers counts as the Stanley Cup playoffs. The NHL and NHLPA confirmed that. So that means the Penguins still have the longest current playoff appearance streak of 14 years. The last time they missed was in 2006 when the Carolina Hurricanes won the Stanley Cup against the Edmonton Oilers in 7 games. And yeah, that's it for this video. Penguins need to figure something out, and they need to figure it out now. See you guys in the next one. Peace.